If you're a man over 60 and you've been sitting there, frustrated, because you've been told that forgetting names, losing your train of thought mid-sentence, and feeling that constant mental fog is just a normal part of getting older, then I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. I'm here to tell you that is completely false. That is a story we've been sold for decades, and it's time we put it to rest for good. It's not just harmless. That belief is dangerous because it makes you passive. It makes you think you have to just accept this decline, that you have to sit back and watch your sharpest tool, your mind, slowly rust over. And I know how that feels. The embarrassment when you introduce yourself to someone and your own friend's name suddenly vanishes from your mind. The frustration of walking into a room and having absolutely no idea why you went in there. The worry that whispers in the back of your mind. Is this it? Is this the start of something much worse? What if I told you that your age isn't the main villain in this story? What if the real culprit, the thing that's actually holding you back, is one common daily habit? Something so simple, so ingrained in your routine, that you likely did it today without a second thought. This isn't about a disease or some rare condition. This is about a quiet, daily mistake that is slowly starving your brain of the critical energy it needs to thrive. It's inflaming your neural pathways, the very highways your thoughts travel on, making the signals slower and weaker. It's causing those pathways to shrink and fray, robbing you of the mental sharpness, quick wit, and crystal clear memory that you deserve to have in your 60s, 70s, and far beyond. My name is Dr. Sundar Vance, and for over 25 years at the Neurovitality Clinic, I have specialized in one thing and one thing only, helping men just like you protect their most valuable asset. It's not your retirement fund or your car, it's your mind. I've walked this journey with thousands of men who felt exactly like you do right now. They felt scared, they felt frustrated, and they were tired of being told to just accept it. I've helped them not just reclaim their memory, but their confidence, their independence, and their joy for life. I've seen men in their 80s get their edge back and feel decades younger. And that is why I'm so passionate about sharing this information with you today. Because today, right here in this video, I'm going to do 3 things for you. First, I will clearly reveal what that one surprising habit is. It's probably not what you think, and understanding it is the first step to taking your power back. Second, I'm going to explain, in plain English, exactly why this habit is so dangerous for your brain health. You'll finally understand the why behind the fog. And third, and most importantly, I'm going to show you a simple, natural, 3-step protocol you can start using today to fight back. This isn't about complicated medicine or drastic surgery. This is about giving your brain exactly what it needs to heal itself, to re-energize, and to help you feel like yourself again. So let's get started. For the longest time, the story we've all been told is that our brains are like old cars. They just naturally slow down and lose their horsepower as the years tick by. We're supposed to accept that a little fog, a little forgetfulness, is just the price of getting older. But what if that story is wrong? New, groundbreaking science is completely changing the game. It turns out that's only half the truth. The incredible discovery is that your brain possesses something called plasticity. That's just a fancy word for its ability to change, adapt, and yes, actually grow new connections at any age. Your brain is not a static, shrinking organ. It's a living, dynamic system that can be nourished and strengthened. So if it's not just age, what's really going on? The real problem, the silent thief stealing your sharpness, is a specific type of inflammation that attacks the brain. Think of it like a quiet, smoldering fire inside your head, irritating your neurons and gumming up the works. This inflammation clouds your thinking, slows your recall, and makes you feel mentally tired all the time. And the fuel for this fire? It's sparked by one simple daily habit you'd never suspect. Something that seems harmless, but is having a profound effect. If you're listening to this and you're ready to finally take back your mental clarity and protect your mind, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell. It helps me get this vital information out to more men like you. And if this message is hitting home for you right now, let me know by typing focus in the comments below. Let's start with a habit that sets the tone for your entire day, and one I see constantly, the midday crash, all caused by skipping protein at breakfast. I want to tell you about my patient Mark. He's 68, a sharp guy, and he thought he was doing everything right. His go-to breakfast was what many would call light and healthy, a piece of toast with jam and a glass of orange juice. It seemed harmless, but like clockwork, by 11 a.m. he'd be hit with a thick mental fog, feeling sluggish and absolutely desperate for a cup of coffee just to make it to lunch. He thought this was just how his body worked now, but it wasn't. Here's what's really happening on the inside. A breakfast like Mark's is loaded with refined carbohydrates and sugars. Your body processes these incredibly quickly, causing a massive spike in your blood sugar. To handle this sudden sugar flood, your pancreas releases a surge of insulin. This works too well, causing your blood sugar to come crashing back down, and it's this crash that creates that awful, foggy, tired feeling. This roller coaster of highs and lows doesn't just drain your energy, it creates inflammation. This inflammation is particularly damaging to a part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is essentially your memory's headquarters. You're not just feeling tired, you're actively starving your brain of the steady, reliable fuel it needs to function clearly all day long. The solution isn't to eat less, it's to eat smarter. Swap those refined carbs for a breakfast that combines protein and healthy fats. Think of a couple of eggs with some avocado, or a bowl of Greek yogurt with some nuts. These foods are digested slowly, providing a steady drip of energy to your brain and body for hours. This one change alone can eliminate that morning crash and give your brain the stable environment it needs to perform at its best. Now let's talk about a modern-day habit that's draining brain power from millions of men. Digital overload, or what I call constant multitasking. I want you to picture Tom, a retired lawyer who came to me. He was always switched on. He'd have the 24-hour news channel running on his TV, his iPad open to social media, and he'd be constantly checking notifications on his phone. He felt connected and informed, but he confessed to me that he couldn't sit down and concentrate on a single page of a book anymore. He'd read the same paragraph over and over, his mind constantly pulled in different directions. He felt busy, but his brain felt exhausted and empty. Here's the crucial thing to understand. Your brain isn't designed to multitask the way we force it to. What it's actually doing is switch tasking, jumping rapidly from one thing to another. Every time you glance from your TV to your phone, you're forcing your brain to quit one task, reorient itself and start another. This constant shifting fractures your attention, burns through mental energy, and most importantly, it completely prevents you from entering a state of deep focus. It's this deep focus that is like a superpower for your brain. It's the state where you solve complex problems, form strong lasting memories, and truly engage with an idea. Without it, your brain is just skimming the surface. It's like going to the gym and doing 100 tiny half-weight bicep curls without ever doing a single solid rep. You feel busy and tired, but you're not getting any stronger. The solution is to fight back with intention. I prescribe what I call focus blocks. This is simple. For just 25 minutes a day, you turn all screens off. That means the TV, the phone, the tablet, everything. Then, you dedicate that time to one single task. It could be reading a book, working on a hobby in your garage, or even just sitting and thinking deeply about a problem. This isn't about being unproductive. It's about retraining your brain to focus deeply again, building those mental muscles that true clarity is built on. Now I want to address a habit that often goes unnoticed because it can creep in so slowly, but its impact on your brain is profound. The silent treatment, or social isolation. Let me tell you about George. He was 72, and after his wife passed away, he gradually stopped making plans. He turned down invitations for coffee. He let his weekly card game with friends fade away, and he spent most of his days alone in a quiet house. On the surface, he told himself he was fine. He thought he just needed some time alone. But what he couldn't see was that his world was getting quieter, and his mind was following suit. His memory recall became slower, his mood dipped, and that mental fog settled in thick. He didn't just feel lonely, he felt like his mind was deteriorating. Here's the critical thing to understand. A simple conversation is like cognitive CrossFit for your brain. When you're engaged with another person, your brain is working at an incredible pace. It has to listen, process information, think of a response, recall relevant stories or facts, read facial expressions, and empathize with their emotions. This isn't just chatting. It's a full-scale workout that strengthens the neural pathways responsible for memory, quick thinking, and emotional regulation. When you isolate yourself, you are essentially putting those neural pathways on the bench. They aren't being used, and just like an unused muscle, they begin to weaken and atrophy. The stimulation stops, and the brain, lacking a reason to stay sharp, begins to slow down. The solution isn't about becoming a social butterfly overnight. It's about recognizing that connection is not a luxury, it's essential brain maintenance. You must schedule it like you would any other important appointment for your health. This could be as simple as committing to one phone call a day to a friend or family member. It could be setting up a standing weekly coffee meetup with a former colleague. The activity itself doesn't matter. What matters is the consistent, meaningful engagement. You are not just catching up on news, you are actively defending your brain against decline, one conversation at a time. Let's talk about a comfortable trap that's incredibly easy to fall into, especially after retirement. What I call static evenings. This is when every day looks exactly the same, with no new experiences to shake things up. I remember a patient named Bill, who was 70. His routine was set in stone for years. He'd eat dinner at the same time, watch the same television shows he'd always watched, and then go to bed. It was comfortable, predictable, and felt safe. But without him realizing it, his world had gotten very small, and his brain, lacking any reason to stay alert and engaged, had slowly begun to shrink along with it. He wasn't challenging himself, and his cognitive abilities were paying the price. Here's the simple, powerful truth about your brain. It thrives on novelty. It's wired to be curious. When you experience something new, whether it's a new taste, a new skill, a new route on your walk, or even a new piece of music, it forces your brain to wake up and pay attention. It has to process fresh information, make new connections, and literally build new neural pathways. This process is called neurogenesis, and it's like giving your mind a spring cleaning, creating new brain cells and the connections between them. Comfort and routine, while easy, signal to your brain that it can go on autopilot. It doesn't need to learn or grow anymore. That's when decline begins. The solution isn't to overhaul your entire life. It's to intentionally sprinkle small bits of novelty into your week. Make it a goal to learn one new small thing each week. This could be learning how to say good morning in a new language, watching a YouTube tutorial to fix a leaky faucet yourself, or simply taking a different path on your daily walk. It's the act of learning and experiencing that matters, not the size of the task. Think of novelty as fertilizer for your brain. It doesn't take much to stimulate new growth, but without it, your mental landscape can't thrive. By stepping out of your routine, you are telling your brain, we're not done yet. There's still more to learn and discover, and it will respond by building a stronger, more resilient you. Finally, we arrive at the most fundamental, and often the most overlooked habit of all. I call it the deep-seated saboteur, chronic dehydration. So many men sit in my office and almost proudly tell me they just don't drink much water. I met a man named Charles who said exactly that. He'd have a coffee in the morning, maybe a soda with lunch, and that was often it for the day. He couldn't understand why he was constantly battling brain fog, low energy, and nagging headaches that painkillers couldn't fully shake. He thought it was just age, but the truth was much simpler. His brain was literally thirsty. You have to understand that your brain is about 75% water. It's bathed in fluid and depends on it for every single function. When you're even mildly dehydrated, a state you might not even feel as thirst, your brain is the first organ to suffer. It's like a beautiful, lush plant that hasn't been watered enough. It starts to wilt. To conserve resources, blood flow to the brain slightly reduces. This means less oxygen and fewer vital nutrients are delivered to your hungry brain cells. At the same time, waste products can start to build up. This 1-2 punch dramatically reduces your ability to concentrate, remember, and think clearly. Studies even show that dehydration can cause your brain tissue to temporarily shrink in volume. You are quite literally trying to run the most complex supercomputer on Earth with a weak and fluctuating power supply. The beautiful part is that the solution is the simplest and most powerful brain hack available. You must hydrate consistently throughout the day. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, because by then you're already behind. Keep a water bottle on your desk or kitchen counter as a constant reminder. A good simple rule is to check the color of your urine. Aim for a light pale yellow. That's your body's way of giving you a thumbs up. This isn't a complicated medical treatment. It's giving your brain the basic element it needs to perform at its best. It is, without a doubt, the easiest first step you can take to clear the fog. So let's be very clear about what all of this means. After everything we've discussed, I need you to understand this one fundamental truth. You are not losing your mind. You are not broken, and this is not an inevitable sentence you must serve. What's happening is much simpler, and therefore much more within your power to change. You have simply been feeding your brain the wrong kind of fuel, and just as importantly, you haven't been giving it the right kind of exercise it desperately craves to stay strong and sharp. Your brain is responding exactly as it's designed to based on the signals you send it through your daily habits. The incredible hopeful news is this. By changing those signals, you can absolutely change your brain's reality. You can shift it from a state of fog and decline to a state of clarity and vitality. It is never too late to start sending a new message, and you can start sending that new message the moment you wake up tomorrow morning. I want to give you a simple, powerful tool that my most successful patients use every single day. I call it the 3-minute mental clarity ritual. It's designed to set your brain up for success from the very first moment of your day. First, hydrate. Before you do anything else, drink a large glass of water. After 7-8 hours of sleep, your brain is dehydrated and craving that fuel. This is like pouring water on that wilted plant, helping it perk up immediately. Second, focus. Just sit quietly on the edge of your bed for 60 seconds. Don't check your phone. Don't turn on the news. Just close your eyes and focus on taking 5 deep, slow breaths. This calms your nervous system and tells your brain it can start the day from a place of calm, not chaos. Third, plan novelty. While you're sitting there, decide on one small new thing you will do today. It could be trying a new breakfast, calling an old friend, or taking a different street on your walk. This primes your brain for growth and tells it to be ready for new experiences. This 3-minute investment pays dividends all day long. Now the power is in your hands. This isn't about overhauling your entire life overnight. That's overwhelming, and it sets you up to fail. Instead, I want you to look back at the 5 habits we talked about and just pick one, just one that resonates with you. Master that one single habit this week. Your brain's incredible ability to heal and rewire itself is waiting for you to simply get started. If this video has helped you see your health in a new light, please do me a small favor. Like this video and share it with one friend or family member who might need to hear this message. And I'd really love to hear from you. Comment below and tell me which one habit you're committing to tackling first. If you'd like to support our mission to bring free life-changing health tips to men everywhere, consider joining our channel with a small membership. Remember, this journey isn't about being perfect, it's about progress. Every small step counts. You have more power than you know to sharpen your mind and take back your focus. I'm Dr. Alexander Vance. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.